Alright, today we're going to have a look at solving the question in front of us. Okay, now as you can see here we've got two angles. We've got this angle here and we've got this angle here, and we're going to use those two angles that we've got to work out angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D, angle E, F and G. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start by summarizing some things that we already know. Okay, so here we can see that there are lots of angles around a point. Alright, now what we know is, I can write it here, angles around a point will always equal 360 degrees. Okay, so that's one thing we know. Now what else do we know? Alright, well we also know, and I'll use a different colour for this, that angles on and let's pick this one here, the angles on a straight line, okay, always add up to 180. So we can say angles on a straight line add up to 180. Oops, sorry about that. No, let's just put, in fact, we'll make it far easier for me and just say equals 180 degrees. Alright, now if we have a look at this diagram, is there anything else we know? Now what we can see on the diagram, I'm going to change my colour again, is that there are two arrows here. Now what does that mean? Well, that means that these two lines here, which we'll label actually, so let's label this one, this end A and B, this one is C and D. It's what we can say is that A and B, AB, CD are parallel. That's what those two arrows mean, is that these lines A to B and C to D are in parallel. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to rub off all the markings that I've made so far, and then we'll have a go at working out some of these angles. So let's just, here we go. Okay, now maybe a good place to start then would be angle A, which is this one here. Let's use a red. So we need to calculate angle A. Now one thing we do know is that these two lines are parallel. So A to B, this one here, and C to D are parallel. Now if we have a look, what have we got here? If I pick another colour and I go along here, okay, what I've got there is a Z or an N, depending on which way you look at it. And if we remember rightly, anything to do with a Z or an N, okay, we call those alternate angles. So I'm just going to put alternate angles. And if we remember rightly, alternate angles, that means that this angle here is going to be the same as this angle here, which means we can write in, which means we've just worked out that A equals 45 degrees, okay, which is good news. So let's see what else we can work out. We might as well move on to B now, if we're going in alphabetical order. So we'll say B equals, now one thing we do know is that this is a straight line, which is good. We know that angles on a straight line add up to 180. We know that this part, which I'm shading in, is 107 degrees. So we know that this part must equal, it's going to be 180 minus 107. Okay, so if we do 180 minus 107, we can say that B equals 73 degrees. Okay, so what we've worked out so far, I'm just going to go back over that. We've used the alternate angles rule to tell us that A equals 45 degrees, and we've used the fact that angles on a straight line add up to 180 to work out that B is 73 degrees. Okay, I am just going to rub out the markings that I made, just so we can clear up the mess. Alright, and then I'm just going to write in what we found out so far. So we know that B, I'm just going to colour this in, there we go. We know that this one is equal to 73 degrees. and we know that A, which is this one, is equal to 45 degrees. Okay, so what we could do next is what? What do you think we should do next? Well, if we have a look, we could work out D, couldn't we? Okay, or we could work out C. Which would you prefer? Well, we could try C, and then we could use working out D, and then that will check if C is correct. Okay, so let's have a look at C. If we have a look at C, I'm going to use a different colour here. C is this angle here. Okay, now if we have a look at that, and we remember that this, okay, and this are a parallel line, and we remember, okay, that these angles here in this U shape, okay, all should add up to 180. Okay, so anything in this U shape, the angles in there add up to 180. Now we've already got this angle, that's 107. So we know that C then is going to be, so we'll come down here, we'll say that C equals 180 degrees minus 107 degrees, and so that C is going to be equal to 73 degrees. Okay, now we can have a look at that. So we're saying that C equals 73 degrees, and in fact there's another rule we can use to test that, and if I use the green colour this time just to show you, if you have a look here, what do we find here? Okay, this actually, if I colour that in, is of course an alternate angle. Okay, so that also tells us that if B is 73 degrees, that C must be 73 degrees because it is an alternate angle. Okay, so we've worked out that A is 45 degrees because it was an alternate angle. We worked out that B is 73 degrees, and now we've worked out that C is also 73 degrees. Okay, now while we're here, what we might as well do is work out what G is. Okay, so if we have a look at G, G is just down here, and how do we know what G is? Okay, well we know that these again are two parallel lines. Okay, but if we carry this on down here, what have we got? Well, we've actually got a backwards F. Okay, that means that these two angles, this one here, okay, and this one here, are corresponding angles. Okay, they're corresponding angles. That means that G, because they're corresponding, well, if this one is 73, because they're corresponding, that means G must also be 73 degrees. Okay, and again, we can test that theory. Look, we can check that that's right, because actually we also know that this is a straight line. Okay, we know angles on a straight line must add up to 180 degrees. 180 minus 107 gives us 73 degrees. Okay, so far we've got A is 45 degrees, B is 73 degrees, C is 73 degrees, and G is also 73 degrees. Okay, now this is getting a bit messy, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rub the mess I've made on my question, and we'll have a go at answering the rest. Okay, now if we remember rightly, we've worked out what A is and we've worked out what C is, so now we should be able to work out what D is. Now the reason why we should be able to work out what D is because of the rule that we've put, let me just pick a colour, the rule that we put here, angles on a straight line equal 180. So here we've got a straight line. Okay, we know that C is 73. We know that A is 45. Okay, so we know that D then, because we know that C, D and A must equal 180. Well, we have C and A, so we know that it's going to add up to 180. We need to minus A and C, so we know that that is 73 plus 45. Okay, and if we do a quick little bit of arithmetic, what do we get? So we say that D equals 180 minus 73 plus 45, which is 118. Okay, so D equals 62 degrees. Okay, so D equals 62 degrees. Now we can test that again, because we've just said that D equals 62 degrees. Now let's check if that's correct. So we know that B is 73 degrees, and we know that this one is 45 degrees, and we know that the angles in a triangle always add up to 180. So if we do 73 plus 62 plus 45, we should get 180. So 3 plus 2 plus 5 gives us 10. 7 plus 6 is 13, plus the 4 is 17, plus the is 18, so 180 degrees. Okay, so now we've worked out that A is 45, B is 73, C is 73, D is 62, and G is 73 degrees. And so far we've managed to test them all and make sure that they're all correct. Okay, so I'm going to rub out what the mess we've made. There we go. And then let's see what I've got left to work out. Okay, so let's see. So we've let's circle the ones we've done. So we've done A, which is here. We've done B, which is here. We've done C, which is here. We've done D, which is here. And so that we've done G. That was 73. So that leaves us, if we have a look, that leaves us with E and F. Okay, so now we've got to calculate E and F. So what should we do first? Well, I think we've probably already used one of these rules, which is, if we have a look, let's pick a colour. Let's go with the green. Okay, let's have a look, and let's say these are parallel lines we know. What have we got if we do this? Okay, all of a sudden this looks like a F to me. Okay, so if that means if this is 45 degrees, we know because this is an F, these are corresponding. Alright, so I'm going to write that down here because I haven't put that down so far. So we know these are corresponding, so that means that F must equal the same as this angle here. So this angle here is equal to the same as this angle here. So that's 45 degrees. Okay, now we can use the same rule that we've used for all the other ones. Okay, so have a look. E and F are on a straight line. I'm going to use a different colour. Let's use the yellow. E and F are on a straight line. We know that angles on a straight line always add up to 180. We know that F equals 45. So to calculate E, I'm going to say E equals 180 minus 45 degrees. Okay, and we're going to say that E equals 135 degrees. Alright, so if we now just rub out the mess we made, I think we've now worked out, calculated all of the angles. So let's have a look. What we'll do is we'll write them in. Okay, so we'll say A, which is this angle here, is 45 degrees. There we go. B is 73 degrees. C is 73 degrees. There we go. D is 62 degrees. So this one here is 62 degrees. Okay. E we said was 135. So let's change, that's 135 degrees. And we said F was 45. F was 45. And we finally said that G, let's just use this colour, we said that G was, where's G? We said G was 73 degrees. So well done everyone. We started with two angles, this one, and from those two angles we've managed to work out 7 others. Alright, so congratulations, hopefully you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next video.